Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. This is Jason, Certified Financial Planner and host of Fighting Words Financial. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about a stock that's probably not on your radar that Cathie Wood seems to love, and she's been slowly adding it to her portfolio over the last month or so. And at least on the surface, this doesn't seem like the kind of company that she would really be interested in. Before we get started, folks, please give this video an early thumbs up as it does help with the YouTube algorithm, and please consider joining my Patreon community, link in the description below. The company that I'm talking about today is truck maker Paccar, which trades under the symbol PCAR. Ark Invest's sudden interest in this company is curious on a couple of different levels, but really for one big reason. Despite having this thesis about electrified trucking disrupting, freight by rail, Ark Invest just really hasn't shown that much interest in electrified heavy-duty trucking, or if they did, that interest was wrapped up into their high confidence bet on Tesla. This seemed pretty apparent based on Cathie Wood's absolutely epic takedown of Nikola Motors when she demonstrated just how large the obstacles were that they would need to overcome to really compete with Tesla and the types of cost declines that they were going to have to match in order to succeed. Tesla's infrastructure costs were just going to be orders of magnitude lower, and even with the other issues that Nikola Motors had, they would probably have a hard time succeeding if they tried to compete head-to-head with Tesla. Despite having an entire thesis of autonomous heavy trucking displacing freight rail, the lack of interest in electrified trucking companies displayed by Ark Invest had me really curious. So when you look at the current holdings of the Ark Invest, ARKQ, Autonomous Technologies, and Robotics ETF, you realize that 40% of the fund is actually invested in autonomous vehicle stocks, but the only trucking stock that Ark Invest currently has in that portfolio, besides Paccar, is Workhorse, which is not a heavy truck manufacturer at all. They're planning to make delivery and utility vehicles. So what is up with Paccar and why the sudden interest from Ark Invest? As I noted before, Paccar is a curious choice. It's not a new company like Cathie Wood prefers. It has origins in the Seattle car manufacturing company, which dates all the way back to 1905. It's a company that really just barely seemed to miraculously survive for its first half a century before it found some real success in heavy truck manufacturing in the 1950s, and they expanded internationally a decade later. For the last half century, it's been a pretty solid, if not very exciting company in the world of heavy trucking with manufacturing and service centers on 4 continents around the world. Paccar thinks of itself, according to their website, as a global technology leader in the design, manufacture, and customer support of high-quality light, medium, and heavy-duty trucks under the Kenworth, Peterbilt, and DAF brands. The Class 8 trucks that you see on the road right now that Hyliion, Nikola, and Tesla are all trying to replace are designed and manufactured and serviced by Paccar. Paccar also designs and manufactures advanced diesel engines, provides financial services and information technology, and distributes truck parts. Curiously, since 2017, Paccar has had a facility called its Silicon Valley Innovation Center located in Sunnyvale, California. Their center coordinates next-generation product development and identifies emerging technologies that could benefit future vehicle performance. All right, now that you know a little bit about the company, here's a big reason that I think Cathie Wood and Ark Invest seem to be interested in this company now. Paccar really seems to have committed to a future that includes autonomous driving in the Class 8 heavy truck market, and they put their money where their mouth is. As a result, the Ark Invest Autonomous Technologies and Robotics ETF has bought roughly $40 million of Paccar stock as of the time of this recording. Ark is betting on an economic disruption on the order of something like the Industrial Revolution, and in the minds of Ark Invest analysts, that vision includes and is highly dependent on a future that has autonomous transportation. Ark Invest believes that autonomous vehicles and autonomous technology in all facets of our lives are going to disrupt established companies and economic ecosystems. Because of a substantial cost advantage, Cathie Wood actually expects autonomous trucking to replace a great deal of the shipping that we do right now by freight rail. Ark Invest has made a couple of assertions in white papers about the future of autonomous trucking that include them cutting the cost of trucking by 75% to only 3 cents per ton per mile over the next 5 to 10 years. That's a pretty aggressive and bold goal. Despite having all this spelled out in their white papers, until they started snapping up shares of Paccar, it looked like the entire thesis was going to rest on the success of a single company, which is, of course, Tesla. It's not surprising then that both the Ark Invest ETF and the Ark Autonomous Technology and Robotics ETF both have Tesla as the largest holding in both portfolios. This is actually one of the chief criticisms of Ark Invest ETFs. I do think it's surprising to find Paccar in the portfolio now, or at least I did before I started looking into this. Paccar has made a couple of recent announcements that indicate an intention to enter the race for autonomous freight shipping. As I stated before, Paccar is already one of the largest manufacturers of medium and heavy-duty trucks under the Peterbilt, Kenworth, and DAF brands. On January 19th, Paccar announced a deal with Aurora Innovation, an autonomous vehicle startup founded by Chris Urmson, the former leader of Google's self-driving car project. Aurora Innovation quietly acquired Uber Technologies' self-driving unit last year and has also recently partnered with Toyota. According to the announcement, Paccar and Aurora are going to develop and commercialize autonomous Peterbilt 579 trucks and Kenworth T680 trucks, powered by Aurora's self-driving technology called the Aurora Driver. Paccar is going to provide all of the traditional truck hardware systems, while Aurora is going to develop autonomous driving software and sensors able to integrate with Paccar's existing brands and technology. Paccar itself has a robust research and development division, which is something I didn't expect when I first started looking into this company. I guess it's a little bit of a bias on my part, but I didn't expect a company as old as they are to be so firmly committed to developing their own technologies. Usually a company like that acquires technologies by simply buying companies. And to be fair, they've been criticized in the past for not putting as much money into R&D as they should. But Paccar has had a serious dedication to the development of new technologies since their first innovation center was established outside of Seattle in the early 1980s. Paccar actually has a rich tradition of innovation despite low research and development spending. Paccar expects to spend between $350 and $375 million on R&D in 2021, which is a 40% increase over what they spent in 2020. Aside from autonomous trucks, Paccar is looking into some other key technologies, including integrated diesel, electric, and hybrid powertrains, hydrogen fuel cell solutions, and connected vehicle services. Paccar also just announced that they're going to start the production of 6 zero-emission electric trucks by the second quarter of 2021. Folks, that's just a few months away. And somewhat under the radar, while all this attention was on all these other companies like Nikola and Hyliion, they actually started taking orders for the new trucks in third quarter of 2020, and they signed a deal with Schneider Electric in 2020 to provide charging infrastructure solutions to its customers. So it was almost certainly the Aurora Innovation Partnership that piqued Cathie Wood's interest in Paccar and the higher research and development budget. The company seems to fit well with Wood's strategy, where companies like Hyliion and Nikola did not for one reason or another. Paccar is also a proven, well-run company with solid brand power in the world of trucking. You know, the Kenworth, Peterbilt brands, for example, they make up about 30% market share of the heavy-duty Class 8 truck market in North America, and their share of the North American medium-duty truck market is around 23% in 2020. Paccar is a company with solid fundamentals, growing sales, a strong balance sheet, and brand power. Even if I were just evaluating this company on the basis of it being a value stock, I would find this company a pretty attractive investment for the long term, say 5 or 10 years. Add in the commitment to innovation, investment in new technologies, and the potential to disrupt shipping freight by rail, and I think that this company looks even better. Anyway, folks, these are just my thoughts. Don't take this as instructions to buy, sell, or hold any securities. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know how wrong you think I am. Once again, I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks again. I'll see you next time.